Assalamu alaikum dears. We are here with a new lecture related to semantic field theory. In this lecture, we will be focusing on some definitions and examples of semantic field theory and the different versions of this theory presented by different linguists. Semantic field theory. The term semantic field theory was introduced by G. Epson in 1924, and the origin of the field theory of semantics is the lexical field theory introduced by Jos Trier in 1930. Okay, it is very simple. The semantic field term was introduced by Epson in 1924, but the theory was introduced as lexical field theory by Trier in 1930. For John Lyons, in the 1970s, words related in any sense belong to the same semantic field, and the semantic field was simply a lexical category, which he described as lexical field. Now, the semantic field for John Lyons, it was a lexical field. Whether it is a lexical field or semantic field, the basic theme is that every lexeme, every word in a language has a semantic link with other words, association, some meaning association with other words in that language. Nowadays, in the 1980s, Eva Kitty developed a semantic field theory of metaphor. This approach is based on the idea that the items in a semantic field have specific relation to other items in the same field. Now, in linguistics, the definition of semantic field theory. In linguistics, a semantic field is a set of words grouped semantically by naming that refers to a specific subject. The term is also used in anthropology and computational semiotics. Longman Dictionary of Language Teaching and Applied Linguistics by Jack Richards and Richard defines semantic field theory as the organization of related words and expressions into a system which shows their relationship to one another. Now look at this definition. It is the organization of related words. How words are related with each other? The system of related words, semantically related words and expressions into a system in a specific language system. And this relationship shows that one lexeme is related to another lexeme semantically. Now, different linguists define semantic field theory in different ways. Lair defined semantic field theory in these words. A semantic field is a group of words closely related in meaning, often subsumed under a general term. And John Lyons describes it as a field of whose members are lexemes in a lexical field. Now, this is self-explanatory. A lexical field is a field where the members will be obviously lexemes, the lexical items. Now, these lexical items are semantically related, closely related in terms of meaning with each other. Okay, and this is a general term used by linguists for the semantic field theory. Now, example. The theory of semantic field assumes that lexemes that are semantically related, whether paradigmatically, the vertical choice in words, or syntagmatically, the horizontal relation between words, within a language systems belongs to same semantic field. The lexical items of a language can be classified into sets which are related semantically and divide up the semantic field in various ways. For example, the field of transfer of possession includes such lexical items as sell, buy, trade, exchange, give, receive, lend, borrow, hire, and rent. Look at this example. A semantic field, look at these two different words. paradigmatic and syntagmatic relations. Paradigmatic relation is a type of paradigmatic choice vertically between words, and for example, one noun can be substituted with another noun if it does not violate the grammar of a sentence. For example, the boy is going, so we can say the girl is going. This girl and boy noun, these are paradigmatic choices, but we cannot say the chair is going because it violates the grammatical rules. Syntagmatic relations are relations, horizontal relation between words. One word go with another word. For example, the boy goes. These are syntagmatic. There is a syntagmatic relationship of singular noun with singular verb. And the boys go. Now, these semantic associations between lexical items in any language can be paradigmatic choices or syntagmatic relations. But the basic theme will be that there will be a relation between meanings, whether that is paradigmatic choice or syntagmatic relation. Look at this example, transfer of possession. Now look at the semantic field or the semantic network of these lexemes. Sell, buy, trade, exchange. They have all semantic relations with each other. Now we should look at Ferdinand De Saussure views in this regard. Basic to this theory is the concept of Ferdinand De Saussure that each word in a language is surrounded by a network of associations which cannot withstand other terms. It explains the vocabulary or lexicon of a language as a system of interrelated networks of or semantic fields. Words that are related may belong to the same semantic field, for example, tree, branch, root, flower, stem, and fruit. Sometimes we see overlap between fields. For example, the field of flower and tree may overlap in relation to plant and grow, and because it is because of the nature of the fluid, the fluid nature of the meaning is not constant, it is fluid. It sometimes one word have a semantic link with another word, but at the same time the same word might have another semantic link with quite opposite word. Now this is so obvious that Ferdinand de Saussure presented the network of association as semantic field theory, and he has given the example. Now, the networks of association. These networks are built on sense relation in a language. The figure below are the following example of network association of terms will show how there are semantic associations. Look at the first example. It is a plant with grow and bloom. There is semantic association. Then a plantation, irrigation, and cultivation has a semantic association. And then has the farmer and cultivator and peasant has a semantic association. And this associative network is known as the associative field. Associative field, thus the associative field of a word formed by an intricate new network of association on the basis of similarity, sensation, name, and collocation. These similarities, associations may be identified by the linguistic method of collecting most obvious terms like synonymy, antonymy, hyponymy, polysemy, etc. Some of the associations are embodied in figurative languages such as metaphors, similes, proverbs, idioms, and the link, etc. Now, these associations, this field of association, is because of the similarity between the meanings of words, the sensation, the name, and the collocations. And look at this lexical relations or semantic association. It might, if it is similarity in the meaning, it is synonymy, oppositeness, then it is antonymy, then we have hyponymy, polysemy. These are all sense relations. Sense relation is a kind of relation in which we say that every word has a kind of relation semantic relation with another word. And these lexical are sense relations. They are synonymy, antonymy, similes, proverbs, metaphors, so many. There are so many. It is only because of their meaning networks and this association in meanings. Now, if we go further, according to this theory, we could we can explain, and we will be explaining contextual and formal meaning. According to this theory, the meaning is classified into two broad categories: contextual and formal meaning. Contextual meaning relates a formal item or pattern to an element of the situation. There is a regular association between a linguistic item and something which is extra linguistic, something which is a part of the situation language rather than the part of the language itself. Contextual situation are wider situation. Nowadays, contextual meaning is a kind of meaning that depends on the context, the physical context where a word is used. A word might be used in one physical context and it might mean one thing, but the same word, if used in another physical context, another extra linguistic context, it might mean another thing. For example, the easiest example is the bank word. The bank, if it is written in the city on a building, it is one kind of bank, commercial bank. And if it is written somewhere in the bed, in the fields, uh, and there is an arrow, we can come to know that there is a bank of a river somewhere near this place. It is not that commercial bank. This is because of that physical context that defines the meaning, and it is the contextual meaning. The next we have the formal meaning. In formal meaning, the relationship between a linguistic item pattern are termed from a system and other linguistic item pattern are items from the system belonging to the same level of language. Formal meanings can be understood by collocating and contrasting a lexical item with another lexical item. The lexical item Kate, for example, look at this example, has the potentiality for collocating with meow, purr, laugh, milk, fur, tail. It also contrasts with dog, mouse, kitten. Such items which fall into context or set of context are referred to an association field. Now, this is formal meaning in which one word can be explained with the help of other words because there are sense relations with each other. A cat has a sense relation with milk, fur, tail, these words, semantic relations. Now, look at Trier's paradigmatic semantic field theory. Now, this is semantic field theory, but it is based on paradigmatic choices. The semantic field theory was brought into its puberty by German scholar J. Trier in 1930s, whose version is seen as a new phase in the history of semantics. Wu, 1988, summarized Trier's semantic field theory as follows. The features of this theory are three, and these are A, B, and C. The first feature is the vocabulary in a language system is semantically related and builds up a complete lexical system. This system is unsteady and changing constantly. The second feature is since the vocabulary of a language is semantically related, we are not supposed to study the semantic change of individual words in isolation, but to study vocabulary as an integrated system. The third feature is sense. Lexemes are interrelated in sense. We can only determine the connotation of a word by analyzing and comparing in its semantic relationship with other words. A word is meaningful only in its own semantic field. Nowadays, look at these three features of the Trier's theory. He says that the vocabulary of a language is semantically related, and there is a lexical system in a language, and this lexical system is changing constantly. because of meanings, a change in the meaning. Then we know that all vocabulary of a language are is semantically related. So we cannot understand or analyze a word in isolation. We will always understand and analyze a word in a language system because there are other related words with this word, the one we are studying. And we know that lexemes and words are related with one another. That's why the connotation of a word can be understood with the comparison, with the help of comparing it with other words. Now, this is very important. A word is meaningful only in its own semantic field because it fully expresses its meaning in its semantic field. Trier's semantic field is generally considered paradigmatic. It deals with paradigmatic relations between words such as hyponymy, synonymy, and antonymy. Now, paradigmatic choices are hyponymy. You can use one hyponym instead of another hyponym in a sentence structure. The same way you can use one synonym in the place of another synonym and one antonym in the place of another antonym in a sentence structure, but if it does not violate the grammatical rules of a language. Nowadays, there is another theory, Horsic syntagmatic semantic field. Previously, we studied in the previous slide, we studied paradigmatic semantic field. Now we are studying syntagmatic semantic field. In contrast with Tribe's theory, another German linguist, Porzig developed a notion of semantic field, which is called syntactic field by some scholars. Porzig's study was based on the analysis of internal relation of the co-occurrence of words. It studied the probability for a lexical item to co-occur with others in the same context. For example, bite and teeth, lick and tongue, bark and dog, etc. They are bound together by what Porzig called essential meaning relations. The general nature of these relations is like this. What does one bite with? With the teeth, of course. What does one lick with? With the tongue, obviously. What is it that barks? A dog. Now look at this relation, a type of collocation relation, horizontal relation between words. Like teeth and bite has a relation, lick and tongue has a relation, bark and dog and has a relation, and these all relations are syntagmatic. But there is a semantic link, meaning association between these words, although they are horizontally used in a sentence structure, not paradigmatic choices. Now, the core concept of this theory, syntactic semantic field. The core point of the syntactic semantic field is that the components in a phrase are not only grammatically related but also semantically related. For example, in the phrase open the door, to make open or become open, open an envelope to unfold or spread out, open a shop to begin business, open a road to make it possible to use passage by removing the things that are blocking it, and open a conference to start a conference. Open has different meanings in different contexts, and these meanings are determined by its collocations. A word has one of its meaning only when it collocates with a certain words or word, and in this way specific collocations are constituted, which constrain the appearance and existence of certain meanings of one word. Now, dears, look at this example of open with in all these phrases. the change in the meaning of open. In one phrase, it means one thing, in another phrase, it means another thing. And it is because of this horizontal relation. It is used with shop, so it means beginning. It is used with door, so it is make open. It is used with conference, so it is to start. And this horizontal syntagmatic relation is there, but this syntagmatic relationship has an effect on the semantic relation, on the meaning association of word open with road, open with conference, and so many things. Now, working definition. What will be the working definition of semantic field theory? The different versions of semantic field theory have one general feature in common. Lexical items are grouped in certain fields under various criteria. According to Zhou, things in the objective world are in disorder. So, in order to fully understand them, our human mind must deposit and memorize them through analyzing, judging, and classifying. Now, look at this statement like this. Words in the language are in disorder. In order to understand them, the human minds must judge, analyze, and classify them, whether semantically, syntagmatically, or paradigmatically. There are different semantic association between words, and these semantic associations are studied through various criteria, either through paradigmatic choices or through syntagmatic relations. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you have understood the theory.